In this masterclass, I'll explain you the things you should be aware before buying a logo. How to choose the right designer for your logo, how much should you pay for a logo, how to evaluate the quality of a logo. So, no more waiting, let's jump right in. I believe that in the end it all comes down to choosing the right designer to create your logo. That simple choice will influence the experience you'll have, the price you'll pay, and the outcome you're going to get. To get you to work with the right designer or the right team, there are two fundamental questions you need to answer with real honesty. How much money you have? How important is the logo for you? If you don't have money, don't spend it on a logo. Just search online and you'll find free tools to create a logo for yourself. It's not going to be great, but it will do the work. If having a good logo is something you don't value that much, please don't spend too much money on it. On the other hand, if you have a nice budget and you think that a great logo is relevant for your business, then you should consider your options. The boundaries of what you can get are defined by the investment you are willing to make. It's like buying a car. You can buy one for $1,000 or you can buy one for $100,000. You'll still have a car at the end of the day, but not the same kind of car. So, first things first, define your budget. The price of a logo and the quality of it, it's influenced by three variables: expertise, time, and number of people. If you hire a junior designer or a senior designer, you'll have different prices and different outcomes. The same goes for talent. A junior can charge as low as $10 an hour, but it might be slower and eventually lack some quality. A senior designer will probably work faster, but will charge at least $50 an hour because it will add extra value for sure. A logo made on a rush probably will not be as perfect as a logo made with enough time. Having time to research, test, think, or to perfect is key factor for any project, but more time means more money. If you hire a freelancer, you'll get one person working on your logo. If you hire a studio or an agency, you're more likely to have a team of people working on your project where, other than the designers, you might also have a creative director, a strategist, a copywriter, or other professionals dependent on the requirements. So, more people, more ideas, more money. Different suppliers will get you different results at different prices. So I think you need to know what are your options in terms of pricing. If you want, you can get a logo for free. There are plenty of online apps to do that, but don't expect too much in terms of uniqueness and quality. If you hire a junior freelancer, you won't get experience, but you'll get price. You can expect to spend between $10 and $1,000. On the other hand, if you want more expertise, you need to find a senior freelancer, but will cost you something between 1 and 15K. If you'd like to have a team instead, you can go with a studio or an agency, and the prices can go between 5K and 75K depending on the scope of the project. If you're ready to spend more than 50K, you are one of the lucky ones who can work with any of the world famous designers and studios. In that case, the sky is the limit. There are three things you can do to choose the right designer for your project. One thing you can do is to take a close look at the work they have done for other companies. By looking at the portfolio, you can find the answer for some questions. Do I like his work? Is this the kind of outcome I want to get for my project? Just by looking at one's work, you can immediately know if it can be a right fit for you or not. If you like the portfolio, the next thing you need to do is to book a call and have a real human interaction. Talking is a good way to get to know the designer and find if you like it or not. If you feel it's the right fit for your project, put him on your shortlist. While talking to your prospect designer, you should ask him about his process. The process of making a logo can say a lot about a designer or a team. You should learn about their process beforehand because it might give you some extra clues to help you decide. The best way to help the designer to do a great job for you is to give him context and goals. Make sure you provide answers to some fundamental questions. Why do you need a logo? Why is the logo important for you? Why do you think this logo will help your business? What is your business? How does it work? Who are your clients? How do you get new clients? What are your business goals? How would you like your logo to look like? Do you have examples? Do you have any other information you consider relevant or useful? If you're looking for a professional logo, you need to know what to expect. I've put together a list of 6 ingredients I consider mandatory on a great logo. Appropriate, distinct, memorable, simple, easy to read, and time-proof. First and foremost, a logo must be appropriate for the business it represents. For example, for a lawyer's firm, the logo is expected to be formal and discreet. The same way, an ecological brand should use colors of nature on its logo, like green and brown. The key is to establish a logical relationship between the logo and the brand it represents. A logo must also be distinct and memorable. These two features are linked together. Every company is different. Different name, different workers, different leadership, different address. The logo, that is a visual representation of the company, should also be different from everyone else's. But being unique is not enough. It should have some detail that makes it easier to remember and, hopefully, unforgettable. If I ask you to tell me the name of the brand with the 3 stripes, you'll know right away that I'll be talking about Adidas, of course. A logo should be as simple as possible for it to be versatile. A logo is used in dozens of different applications. That's why it's really vital its ability to survive being printed on large sizes, embroidered really small, be cutted out on vinyl, be legible at 80 pixels, don't get smudged on the stamp, or clearly perceived from a distance. Less complexity is more flexibility. The logo needs to be easy to read. I can't emphasize this enough. If one can't read what it says on the logo, one can't understand it, and for sure, it becomes very difficult to memorize. A good logo should be easily readable on a blink of an eye, far and near, in large and small sizes, in color or in black and white. I'll give you an example. Kia had this logo, but lately they changed it for this one, which is very creative, but I personally find it very difficult to read, and therefore to memorize. The last item on the checklist is that the logo should be time-proof. What I mean is that logo design should not follow the trends of the moment, or else it will look very old-fashioned 3 years from now. You don't want to be rebranding all the time because it's really time-consuming and incredibly expensive. Also, a brand needs time to be built, so it's not good to be changing the logo every 3 years. The way I see it, a logo should be designed to last at least 10 to 50 years. I don't want to bother with too much technical information, but I think you need to know the files you should receive at the end of a logo design project. Your logo should have a master file made of vectors instead of pixels. This is the file you'll distribute to any professional that will use your logo either for design or production. This way, you guarantee that everybody uses the same original shape of the logo. A brand style guide is a user manual for the logo. Usually comes in a PDF document where you can see the rules of the logo usage, colors, variations, sizes, typography, etc. It's useful to keep the information in one place and easy to share. I suggest it to be as concise as possible to be easy to use. JPEG and PNG images are the easiest to use on different softwares like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. So it's a good idea to have the logo available on those formats too. We are getting to the end of this masterclass. I really hope you get some value out of it, and I hope it helps you choose your designer for your next branding project. If you're looking for a small agency who cares about your brand and the story behind it, please consider talking with us. We are an agency who loves to design logos with meaning for clients who really care about their brands. If this is you, wherever you are, take a look at our work, our process and our prices. And if you feel like it, book a call with us. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you soon.